In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Many a times we are we find ourselves in a sort of psychological trouble. Means being sad, and it seems that maybe I am drowning, I am sinking, and with the passage of time, like I am going deeper and deeper into a kind of quagmire, a kind of trouble, a kind of boggy and marshy land. I am unable to come out of that, or at least I am, it seems that I am a failure. I shall not be able to come out of that, and like my life has been wasted, is being wasted, and I am nothing else. Like all the people are performing, most of the people are performing, doing, achieving better than me. And like I am unable to face them, unable to live honorably amongst the people I have been living since long. So it does happen with many of the people, and with some of the people, rarely, though not frequently. So now the question is that is there any sort of solution? Is there any way to tackle to come out of the situation like this one, if at all we find ourselves in? Yes, of course there is, and that is the reason we have been talking and discussing about the subject today. Dear friends, look, if at all we think about the problems, the troubles, definitely these are several, not just one, not just one. And maybe if at all these are several and we are unable to manage these things, so it actually means that maybe we are in a sort of crisis. We are in a crisis like situation, and I have failed. My life is a failure. I'm going deep into and deep further deep into the trouble, into the pain, into the failures. Now, dear friends, we need to have a plan. Maybe almost all of us, or most of us, do have a plan, and the plan upon which to work, and we have been working upon a plan. But I am of the view that this plan is not working, and this is the reason. This is the reason that we, instead of moving forward, instead of developing, instead of progressing, instead of improving, we are unable to do any of these things, and we are rather going back and more even deeper into the trouble. So the plan is not working. So we need to do the two things. First of all, we need to reform, remake that plan on the one hand, and once we have it, then we need to constantly upgrade and improve it with the passage of time. And every time we start thinking about the trouble, the problem, the crisis, then we should start looking upon our newly developed reformed plan, and we should start thinking and believing that inshallah, with the passage of time, I shall be able to come out of that trouble. I shall keep improving because of this great plan, the plan which is being developed, further and further with the passage of time, also with the help of certain other intelligent people. But I am also working very hard to improve, to implement, to put into practice, and so that this could benefit me, and this could bail me out of the difficult situation. My dear friends, I am of the view I am of the view that this is the way out. We already had a plan, but the plan was not working. Rather, it was because of the wrong plan, that we had find ourselves in the trouble, in the pain, in the failure, in a very difficult situation. That was actually the failure of our plan. We could not devise the right sort of plan. What is wrong with our plan? What is wrong with our plan? Maybe we could not work well for our plan on the one hand, or maybe the plan was absolutely and totally nonsense. It has been seen and it has been noticed that the people are, trying to achieve the quick fixes and the quick results and the shortcuts. As far these shortcuts are concerned, as far these quick fixes are concerned, as far the sudden development is concerned, I think this is responsible. This is responsible for our failure, and that is why I said that we need to reform our plan on the one hand, and if at all there is a kind of disciplinary issue in our life, if at all we are lacking the discipline in our life, then we need to develop a discipline in our life, so that because of this discipline and because of this highly regulated life, we could find ourselves on the way to progress, on the way to prosperity, my dear friends. It is not much complicated if at all we have been working upon the basic things. If at all we have been working upon the basic things, it is not actually very complicated. What are those basic things? I need to become more and more disciplined person. That is something very basic. I need to become more and more positive person. That is something very basic. I need to become more and more practical person under the umbrella of positivity, and not without that. I think that is something very basic. And if at all I am overspending, if at all my expenses are more than that of my income, that is something very basic to reform. And if at all I have developed some sort of conflict with some of the people, I need to reform it. I need to rectify these errors. So these are usually the behavioral issues, and these are usually the attitude issues, and these are actually the disciplinary issues. These are something very basic one. But as for the plan is concerned, while having a plan in our mind, we must understand that if at all I was having certain things which could work like a magic, then I need to remove it, because nothing work like a magic, because there are no quick fixes, because there are no shortcuts. If at all I am avoiding the hard work, if at all I am avoiding the resolute work, this actually means that I am going to become a failure. If at all I am trying to cheat and to defraud the people, that also mean that I am not going to succeed. Rather, I am going to sink and I am going to drown. I am going to find myself in the more and more trouble, and I am going to find myself in the more and more crisis. So those are the, I think, those are the erratic situations. Those were the erratic plans, and even I shall call it a kind of over ambitiousness, or maybe a sort of laziness, a sort of anything like that, which has actually me shown me a situation, which has actually put me into a sort of situation where I find myself helpless and I feel like I'm drowning. I think I need to have a different plan. This plan of mine should be more practical one. I think if at all I need to work resolutely, I need to work continuously, and I need to believe in the gradual development. I need to believe in the gradual improvements in my life, in my affairs. I need to may have a better relationship, but not, it doesn't mean that if at all somebody is trying to deceive or to cheat me, and I should allow them to do that. Being humble, that's fine. Being polite, that's fine. Being a person of good manners, that's fine. Willingness to develop the good relationship, that's fine. But it doesn't mean that we should allow each and everyone else, or we should allow some of the people to defraud us, to cheat us, to loot and to exploit and to manipulate us, although we are not going to be rude with them at all. And above all, we need to develop a good relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by making a firm commitment that I shall be living like an obedient creature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like a true slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And plus we need to work well, we need to work well, we need to work well. And as for the gradual development plan is concerned, it always succeed. But as for the sudden development plans are concerned, these sudden development plans put us into more and more in a difficult or a troubled situation. I need to avoid that. Each one of us need to avoid that. Actually, every time we find ourselves in a such state of sorrow, every time we find ourselves sad enough, unhappy enough, we need to look upon our plan, and we need to reassure us that inshallah I shall keep working very regularly and very resolutely according to my plan. And although I need to improve my plan also with the passage of time, the combination of two of these things plus certain restrictive measures, if at all my life was not a disciplined one earlier, I need to develop more and more better and better discipline in my life. I need to control my expenses if at all my expenses were very high. So these are the very simple things which we need to fix, where we need to improve. And having done things like this one, I think that we will keep improving, we will keep developing with the passage of time. And a time will arrive that we will be inshallah finding ourselves in a happy state of affairs. And every time we feel like I'm feeling sad, we need to look upon our plan. I need to look upon our plan, and I need to improve my plan as well. But this plan does not mean that I am trying to hoodwink the opinion of the other people. That is absolutely impossible. I need to think of win-win. I need to find the solid plan, and I need to do the concrete work. I need to believe in the delivery. I need to believe in the hard work. I need to believe in the positive thinking. I need to believe in the smart work as well. But after the hard work, and after taking all the precautionary measures, and not obviously shortcuts, as far the shortcuts are concerned, these are usually, I have seen that these become the causes of our failure, the causes of the troubles in our life.